What is cracking, everyone? We are back in the building on this free agent frenzy Monday. Oh boy, oh boy. Now, we were hoping for some pretty substantial news to drop. Didn't get any. Didn't get any big ones. But, talking to some people, and this might have been out there already. I'm actually trying to double check as we speak. But 49ers are clearly interested in a couple people. So let's see here. Let's see here. All right. So we'll find out. I don't know if it's been reported or not. I'm trying to look and see if it has. It may have been. I can't remember. But today, the Tennessee Titans did not tender David Quisenberry. He is the Titans tackle. He's played with the Texans. I am hearing that the 49ers have some interest in potentially bringing David Quisenberry on board. That actually aligns with what we heard at the Combine. What we heard at the Combine was that the 49ers were going to be in the market for a mid-level veteran tackle offensive lineman. So we've heard that. And also kind of what I'm hearing from a completely different person is that guy could be David Quisenberry, right tackle, last of the Tennessee Titans. So that's what I'm hearing a little bit behind the scenes. We'll see if that's the case. If Quisenberry gets signed on the live, then hey, we're vibing. I'm not sourcing anything. Again, this is just conversations that I'm having with people who would know. But just something. It's not who we want. It's not Stephon Gilmore. It's not, it's not one of these big name guys that we were looking for. But hey, it's someone. But we're still waiting. Still waiting on the Stephon Gilmore. We're clearly still waiting on the Jimmy Garoppolo situation. Dylan says we need memes. Detail says the Gilmore hive is buzzing. Again, last we heard of Stephon Gilmore, it sounded like a 3-team race. It really sounded like a 2-team race. It really sounded like it was coming down between the Jets and the 49ers. One of the things that we had talked about with this potential move is if it comes down to a money situation, well, we understand that Gilmore could absolutely get a lot more money out of the Jets than the 49ers can offer. So if Gilmore truly wants to play for a contender, which again, I don't know how that's viewed now, right? I don't know how that's viewed in the sense of I don't even know. Squirrel. My mind's thinking of like 40 different things right now. Hold on. Let me get this one thing off the list, and then let me come back. All right. Sorry. There's so much going on, man. There's so much going on. I think we can feel pretty confidently. At least I feel pretty confident about this. I don't think Brady's coming, man. I don't think Brady's coming at all. I don't think it's happening. And again, the big indication there. Oh! Let's go, Jags. Breaking news. The Jacksonville Jaguars have signed Zay Jones, Raiders wide receiver Zay Jones, for 3 years, $30 million. Oh my goodness. Hey, we talked about it on the earlier stream. Jags. All it will take, send me $200K, 75% guaranteed. I'll be your water boy. I got all you. Let's go. Y'all thought it happened. Look at the chat. The chat's in shambles. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. I'm over here vibing. Chat's in shambles. Let's go. Oh no, trust me. Trust me. That wasn't a Jimmy celebration. Oh, trust me. If it was going down, you would know that it was going down. That was a Zay Jones. That was a Zay Jones excitement. That was a Zay Jones. So a lot of you guys probably don't know. Good. But again, let me explain myself. Zay Jones is a former draft crush of mine. Zay Jones is a former draft crush of mine. So, hey, same energy. That's one of my sons, man. I saw my son get a deal. I was excited. Yeah. Sorry, I lost track of where I was for a second. Clearly, we're looking for a different type of news. Bailey says, "Hey, look, Brad's McDonald's Wi-Fi is working somewhat decent. Somewhat. We'll find out. It's probably not going to last a long time. And clearly, the chat is going to come after my neck after what just happened." Jason said he was emotionally ready. I apologize. For that. That's on me. I almost posted my goodbye video. That was on me. Oh, good times. No, trust me. If a Jimmy Garoppolo per sources tweet comes across, I'm running. I'm out the chair. Like, trust me. That was not a I'm getting you guys in trouble because I react to some of these moves for much different reasons than what you guys are. You guys don't give two craps about Zay Jones and the Jags. Only me. I apologize. I'm happy for my boy. I'm happy for Zay. Zay got paid. Let's go. Zay got paid. Holy crap. That's insane how much he got paid. Sorry, guys. I'm a big Zay Jones fan. That's a draft crush right there. Eastern Carolina legend Zay Jones getting the bag from the Jags, of course. Also sent the chat into a tailspin. Hey, bro's ready to post announcements and updates, everything. We're all ready. We're all ready. Hey, what's good to know, though, is you guys are ready. That was a test. That was a test. You guys passed. Good job. Oh, you guys passed the test. Good job. I just wanted to. So we took a break from our earlier live, and I just wanted to test to see if you guys were really ready or not. You guys passed the test. Good job. I apologize about that. I get excited about silly moves. So that is something to keep in mind. That is something to keep in mind. Warning as we move forward. But trust me, if Jimmy Garoppolo is getting traded, if Stephon Gilmore is getting traded for, the reaction will be much better. I promise. I promise. But my goodness. Zay Jones, 3 years, maximum value, $30 million. Christian Kirk, $72 million. Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. Balky going nuts right now. Balky's spending all the money. He is spending all the money. So he spent quite a bit on Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. I mean, if you're a 49er fan, man, if you're a 49er fan, oh, that's Scott Hall just passed away. That's tough. I heard about that potentially happening yesterday. That's tough. RIP, wrestling legend. Shot him out. That's tough. But my goodness. Balky going crazy right now. Going crazy. Signed Brandon Scherf, probably one of the best guards in the NFL. Signed Christian Kirk. Signed linebacker Foye Olukun. Nose tackle Fole. Not even going to try it. Zay Jones, Evan Ingram. Jaguars are doing it. Jaguars are doing it. Yes, sir. RIP, wrestling legend. 100%. So let's pull the chat. Let's see how the chat's doing. Let's get the chat back on track. Well, Colts asked to meet with Watson, and thankfully for the San Francisco 49ers, they said no, and rightfully so. They're in division. And rightfully so. We don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen at all. So I think the Colts want Jimmy Garoppolo. I think the Colts understand, though, they're in a bit of a situation with themselves. Right? Like, I feel like there really aren't a lot of people bidding for Jimmy Garoppolo. And so I think what the Colts are doing is they're kind of calling the bluff a little bit. They're trying to see if they can get the price to lower a little bit in that regard. And so we'll see, man. But do you guys think? Let's get the chat back on track. Let's poll the chat. Because that was my fault. False alarm by me. Do you think the 49ers are going to make a move today? Do you think the 49ers are going to make a move today? Do we think? Or are we just waiting for the same thing that we've been waiting for for a while. So far, the resounding answer is no. No. Oh, man. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck with that. I'm terrible at checking Instagram messages. But this is this is the vibe. No one feels like and if you do think we are going to make a move, I want you to drop what that move is, what you think they're going to do. Because 49er Faithful says, yeah, he does. He does. But pretty much everyone's saying no. No, Murph. Hey, Murph's holding out hope that there's going to be a move that gets done today. It's going to be interesting, man. Detail says 49ers have a history of waiting deep until free agency, and I would agree with that. I would agree. If it's not spending on our own guys, which is what we've been doing as of late, is spending on our guys, they will wait. They signed Samson Ebukam real early last year, if you guys remember that. Angelic Ambition says, sure hope so. Oh, Justin's calling him out. Hey, Kyle, if you're watching the chat, if you're watching the stream, Kyle, look at what Justin's saying. Justin's saying, I don't think you have the guts to make a move. Ooh. Called you out. Are you gonna let Justin do that to you? You gonna let Justin call you out like that? I don't think you should. I think you should make a move just to show Justin. Just to show Justin he's wrong. Just make a move. Just to appease us. Could you imagine 49ers just drop a random move? Like just the most random addition. Like fringe special teams player. Just like, oh, we made a move. I like this one. DJ Reed tomorrow. Let's pull the chat like this. Out of the remaining free agents, again, holes in the offensive line. We need a nickel cornerback. A lot of people want outside corner, CB1, safety, D-line depth, running back depth, wide receiver depth. Which players are available that you think the 49ers should go out and target? Who do you think? Detail wants Stephon Gilmore. Tough. He wants Stephon Gilmore. Tough. Two teams have expressed interest in former Browns wide receiver Jarvis Landry, Kansas City Chiefs, and the New Orleans Saints. Gross. Could you imagine Deshaun Watson going to the New Orleans Saints and they have Michael Thomas and add Jarvis Landry? That's pretty solid. DJ Reed over Gilmore. Daniel wants to see DJ Reed and Chandler Jones. I mean, the 49ers grabbed those two. We're doing cartwheels. We're doing cartwheels. They're going to restructure Jimmy for 4 more years. Oh, my goodness. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Jeremy wants DJ. Zeke wants Gilmore. Breaking Niners add 1 year to Mitch Wishnowsky. There's a move. That's not a real move. That's not real. Just FYI. Anchovy wants Stephon Gilmore. Let's see who else you guys want. Ooh, I like that. Sign Gilmore, draft Petrie out of Baylor. It's not bad. Gilmore and Reed would be dirty. Tyrann Mathieu, I've always liked the Honey Badger. So if they figured out a way, then and you put the Honey Badger back there with Jimmy Ward, woo! Oh, what a tweet. What a tweet. I like that tweet. That was a good one. David Lombardi just tweeted out because Eastbay Chris put the Jaguars are currently doing what the 49ers the Jaguars are currently doing what would happen if 49ers Twitter was a GM of the franchise. David Lombardi said 49ers Twitter equals Trent Baalke. Full circle. That's pretty funny. All right, let's see what other players that you guys want if you could have them. This is dream time because hopefully we're going to be finding out. Raheem Mostert, would love to get Raheem Mostert. Fish wants a nickel cornerback, so do I. Amateur Draft Scout wants Reed. Sign Watson? Like Deshaun? Deshaun has rejected us. He doesn't want us. Ooh. I like Justin Reed. Justin Reed at safety. I think he's better than Eric, to be honest with you. Eric was a good cornerback or good safety. Good to decent. Lots of DJ Reed love. Don't do this, please. Gilmore, and JV. Sir Juju's saying wait till Wednesday. He's saying Wednesday will be our day. I hope so. MVS or Gilmore? We kind of went back and forth with MVS. Honestly, like MVS might be expensive. So if MVS is coming in at like $5 million to $10 million, like we saw a projected number from PFF that he wanted like $10 million a year. I think at $10 million, I'd rather just draft a wide receiver early rather than make the investment. AJ Boye has become available. Derek Gore, 2 years, $2 million. I mean, talk about affordable. And you've been on Derek Gore for a minute too. That at that price, hell yeah. It's like that's like a key special teamer price too. Like Derek Gore is kind of guy that you can put on special teams as well and use him in that role, which is what the 49ers do need. Let's see. Gilmore, Reed, Chandler Jones, Justin Reed, Jakeem Grant. So we talked a little bit about the returner. We've had some people do some research that had found out that we hadn't had a return touchdown from a kick returner since Ted Ginn in 2014. That's how long it's been that the 49ers have had a touchdown contribution from the kickoff return team since 2014. So, and that was Ted Ginn. So, Jakeem Grant at this point might be spending a little bit in that regard. But I mean, I think I think we agree we need a returner. You're lying. Oh, don't. So hold your horses. I don't see this anywhere. So the only reason why it's still up is because you paid a super chat to get it up. But Tabor Pepper is our long snapper, sir. Tabor Pepper is our long snapper. And although Kyle Nelson. Is that the old long snapper or Kyle Nelson, the wide receiver from Buffalo? Man, you're going to have to make me look. I don't see it anywhere. Kyle Nelson's a long snapper. Why? Why did you make me pull that up and search that? Why? Why? Jay says he wants Frank Clark. Again, I'm kind of way up in the chat, so trying to catch up. But I want to make sure you guys get heard from. Let's see. Oh, bring the DJs back. Bring the DJs back. Read and read. Ooh, the read and read. That would be fire. Oh, Daniil Hunter from the Vikings. Starman just wants the 49ers to do something. Just something. Gilmore, Reed, Jakeem Grant, DJ Jones. Let's see. Calais Campbell. Breaking news. Jags trade Trent Baalke for Brad. Ooh, I think I could do a better job than Trent Baalke. Not that I think. I know. I know I could do a better job than Trent Baalke. I've already experienced it when he was with us. I know I could do a better job than Trent Baalke. Trent Baalke is a son of a gun, I'll tell you. I will tell you. Oh, sign me and Gilmore? Let's go. I'll be your backup water boy. Oh, plot twist. Jimmy retires. How crazy would that be? How crazy would that be? Juju Smith? Not a lot of people talking about Juju Smith right now. I mean, what a fall from grace he has had. He went to being one of the most valuable young wide receiver prospects out there. But my goodness. So, honestly, I want to see. We're getting focused on the big names quite a bit, but I would like to see them go after a return specialist. Again, whether you pay for it or whether you draft it, I really would like to see like a signaling that we put an emphasis on the returner who can do both punt and kick return, and just have not even have to think about that. The amount that 49er fans and the coaching staff, how much brain power they've had to put into who's going to return for us has been ridiculous. Again, at camp, it was what are these guys that we are trotting out here to be returners for us? Half of them are veterans that shouldn't be returning. A couple of these guys aren't going to make the roster. What are we doing? Oh, Ayuk's going to be our best option. I only like, Debo, Ayuk being that option if it's a playoff game and it's a must-win game and we need it to happen. Then I'll take those options. Other than that, let's find a guy that can do it. Details saying Marcus Jones is that guy, Houston cornerback. He's bringing some details too, because why not? He's Niner detail. Oh, I think I saw earlier he's over 100 subs now. Let's go, detail. YouTube detail making the great migration. Hit a sub with detail if you haven't already. But he says Marcus Jones had 8 touchdown returns at Houston and 8 reception. Dude is the full package. Marcus Jones, I believe, met with the 49ers at the Combine. So, again, he's a smaller cornerback, but he's athletic. And I have no problems with, how tall you are. Again, you're never going to see me look at a box score of how tall someone is and see what it says and then automatically say, oh, he's no good. Why? Because he's 5'9"? I've seen plenty of 5'9" players do really well. It's just about the player. So, Marcus Jones, early comments are about his size. Again, you can either play or you can't. Really have no concerns about size in that regard. So I like that. Hell yeah. Smash that like button if you haven't already. This is our second stream today because we're hoping. We are hoping that something breaks while we're rocking. It feels like but like we already pulled the chat. Chat doesn't think anything's going to happen. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath. Let's go. 106. Let's go. We broke the 100 barrier. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, to be honest, don't tell Darren Sproles about that. Again, don't tell Mogsy Bogues about that. It's not everyone's built the same. Not everyone's built the same. Not every 5'9" guy can play in the NFL. Absolutely not. But if you can put your eyes on the tape and you can see a guy can play, that's it. That's it. Let's see. I'm with Aaron too. Would love to see Trey just play a full season. Just want to see Trey play a full season. I want a full season of hype. Like, Trey didn't get the hype. Neither did Jimmy. I know other content creators or people who do content, you know this vibe. Like, we like hype. Hype's fun. Hype's great for engagement. But we couldn't hype our own quarterback last year. That was crazy. We went through a year just now, 2021, where we couldn't hype our own quarterback. We couldn't hype Jimmy. We couldn't hype Trey. There was no in between. You tried to hype one of them, you're getting bodied by the other half of the fan base. It was crazy. It was crazy. I just want the situation to be over. I think you can all agree at that point, whether you like Trey, whether you like Jimmy. We just want come on, Schefter. Do it. Do it now. Ooh, like just announce it. Announce it. Just announce it. Want to see Trey 5. I saw that. And it's funny too because people do like, so you know that play where Rams you had it was like an end around or something where Deebo Samuel, I think it was that week 18 game, going to the left. You had Jalen Ramsey running full speed down the line of scrimmage, and Deebo planted Ramsey into the ground. But people think that Ramsey hit him on that play. If you watch it, did he go backwards? Yes. But he planted Ramsey into the ground. Oh, the hive is buzzing. The hive is buzzing. We need something more to buzz about, though, because so far what we've gotten to buzz about is people leaving. We got players leaving. Laken Tomlinson is gone. We keep getting attached. So, oh, stop it. Thank you, Bailey. Thank you. So as 49er fans, especially if this isn't your first off season, you know that we are used. And when I say we, the 49ers are used as leverage pieces all the time. Like, I know details in here. I know he'd be seeing the same stuff that I've seen the last couple of years. You know that whenever the 49ers like are brought into a situation, half the time it's literally leverage. Like, it's just a leverage to, like, oh, the 49ers always seem like a desirable destination for teams or players. So it's always like the 49ers are interested in X player, right? Like, how many times have we seen X superstar player connected to the 49ers, X superstar player connected to the 49ers, it's like clockwork. So with the Stephon Gilmore thing, I am hesitant to buy into it. I am hesitant to buy into the Stephon Gilmore hype because I recognize that the 49ers are used quite a bit historically as leverage pieces in these types of moves or potential moves. So with that situation being the case, again, remember Julio Jones, like now there might have been real interest with Julio, but it was rampant, you know. Anytime a big time available player becomes, on the open market, it becomes, the 49ers are going to be a team. But how often have the 49ers actually been that team? It feels like the 49ers have done a really good job at retaining their own, you know, this is kind of funny. Somewhat. So I think the name, dang, the Chargers signed another defensive tackle. My goodness, the Chargers are going crazy. Chargers just signed Rams defensive tackle Sebastian something or other. But it's funny. Some guy responded to the tweet because I think this episode is called Free Agent Frenzy. He said, "LOL, dude just called it a frenzy. Good joke." It's actually kind of funny because the 49ers haven't done anything. The frenzy is please do something. That's the frenzy. So kind of what I was talking about with the situation with my goodness, so many squirrels. The situation with Stephon Gilmore, it feels I don't want to get too excited about it. Just because that feels like a situation where it kind of feels like, if we're going up against the Jets are going to be able to spend way more money than we can. They're going to be able to spend way more money than we can. The Raiders are going to be able to spend way more money than we can. The Raiders don't have state tax to deal with. Like, if it's it comes down to financials. Like, the 49ers have no shot. So for Stephon Gilmore to want to play for the 49ers, he has to want to play. Like, he has to want to play. And if you look at the Jets and you look at the situation, the Jets have a second-year quarterback too, Zach Wilson. They've clearly added offensive line help. They've signed a couple key players. Who knows? But we'll see. This is the one I want the most. I want DJ Reed. I think we talked about MBS before. We talked about Marquez Valdez-Scantling. To be honest, he's too inconsistent for me. I think he has traits and the skill set. I just, I don't see the consistency there with MVS. However, you get DJ Chark Jr., I would like that. I think that would be an under the radar move for the 49ers. Maybe he could be a returner. Maybe. I don't know if that's what you're necessarily signing him for. But DJ Chark, pretty underrated. Definitely had a falling out with Jacksonville. He had a really good rookie year and kind of fell off after that. I like Chark personally, and he's young. You probably get him for cheap. So that would be interesting. That was reported that the 49ers did show interest in Ray McLeod, also Jakeem Grant, and Khalif Raymond, I believe. So that's part of the situation too. So Allen Robinson. So do you guys remember when Allen Robinson tweeted about he tweeted about we got another defensive tackle signing. So we're actually getting some defensive tackle dominoes to fall. We just had 2 defensive tackles get signed. Three. We just had 3 defensive line signings go back to back to back. So Chargers got their guy from the Rams. My goodness, Chargers are active. Carolina Panthers got Daquan Jones. I'm sorry. He was currently with Carolina. Daquan Jones will now be signing with the Buffalo Bills. The Vikings are signing defensive tackle Harrison Phillips to a 3-year deal. He was coming from the Bills. So we just had three defensive linemen get signed. So DJ Jones, I would imagine, is coming up. I'm surprised he hasn't been signed yet, to be honest. So I wonder do you think DJ Jones potentially might be worth more to 49er fans than maybe other teams? We're seeing defensive linemen go. There's 3 that just went. Is there a world that exists where maybe we have him propped up a little bit higher more than others? Maybe others see him rotational. I don't know. You let me know. Carson Taylor says, can't do anything till Jimmy's trade. We're -$4 million over the cap right now. Yeah. You know what would be interesting? I know I talked about DJ Chark here, but what about Laviska? What about Laviska Shenault? You guys know him? He's on the Jags. They just paid how much money to Zay and to Christian Kirk? Does that mean Laviska could be had? What if the 49ers could get Laviska Shenault for like a 5th-round pick? Would you do that? Would you? So he'd be heading into his 3rd year I think he was originally out of Colorado State or Colorado. I think he's out of Colorado. Laviska. You talk about wide back. You talk about a guy who can play multiple roles. You got a guy who can be in a bunch of different places, do a bunch of different things, play outside, play inside. I'm just saying. If they're paying all this money and they want to get a return, and we're like, hey, we got a 5th rounder. We'll give you a 5th rounder for Laviska. I think he was a high 2nd. I think Laviska was a high 2nd when he was drafted. Oh, Hendrick said Shenault not good. I think he's good. Dylan's calling him Baby Debo. He would be used very similar. He's a piece that can be used in a multitude of ways. And I think that would be beneficial for the 49ers to have, especially to ensure you're keeping the workload a little bit light on Debo as well. But the draft is deep. You'll be able to find a player in the 5th round. You'll be able to find a nice wide receiver in the 5th round. Might not be of Laviska's ability, But yeah, you'll be able to. You'll be able to. Oh, someone wake him up. Wake him up. Let's do something. Let's do something. Ooh, I don't know about this. Would you guys do this? Would you trade Jauan Jennings for Chenault straight up? That would be tough. That would be tough. I would think about it. But I think ultimately, I think Jauan fits so well with what we need him to do and what he does. And we've only seen, I think, like the surface of what Jauan can offer. So I'm not gonna lie. You know, a lot of people I see the chat. Chat's not about it. I would think about it. But I think ultimately I would stay with Jauan. I think ultimately I would stay with Jauan because again, his mentality is something that is hard to replicate. The mentality you can replicate the measurable. Like Jauan Jennings as a measurable player, you can find big slots like him all the time. Like you're finding Jauan's like player archetype, I don't think is difficult. I think what's hard in finding Jauan is that dog, is the savagery that comes along with Jauan. That's the hard part to find. You can find a 6'4", 6'5", big slot anywhere. Like you can do that, especially in today's NFL. Look at all these wide receivers coming out of this class. But can you find someone with that mentality that doesn't care when it comes to blocking, catching? You tell me what to do, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to execute it at full speed. And if that means blocking, then I'm going to rock your dome, bro. Jauan's built different in that regard. So like I said, I would think about it. I would maybe look at it, but ultimately, I think and again, Jauan is still not signed, ladies and gentlemen, officially. He's still not signed. He was tendered, from my understanding, but he is yet to sign. And as we've talked about, that's probably indicating that he's working on a different type of deal. But so this is the thing with the cap space. Like, can you work out deals? But not announce them because you don't officially have the cap space? See, that's one thing I don't know. Like, let's say, for example, the reason Jauan Jennings hasn't signed or it has been announced because this is what he's tendered at. He's tendered at $900K. You have Fred Warner going on to Richard Sherman's podcast calling Jauan Jennings one of the best players on the team. You have him, Fred Warner, team captain, leader, going on to Richard Sherman's podcast and calling Jauan Jennings one of the best players on the team. So I would imagine the $900K tender doesn't suffice, doesn't match. So I'm going to have to go ahead and say they're probably, I hope they're sitting on a deal. That's what I'm hoping it comes down to. I'm hoping the reason why we haven't seen Jauan sign is just because they're sitting on it. They're just because they can't, because theoretically they're over the cap, so theoretically they can't process it. I don't know. I don't know if that exists. I don't know if that's a real thing. So contract details just came out for Mitchell Trubisky of the Steelers. Again, the Steelers were someone who was in the mix for Jimmy Garoppolo, and they opted to sign Mitchell Trubisky 2-year deal with a base value of $14 million. I'm not going to lie to you guys. If I was the general manager of the Steelers and my options were signing Mitchell Trubisky to this deal or trading a second, maybe plus additional draft capital for Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm probably signing Mitchell Trubisky. And I don't think it would be a terribly long conversation. Because I also am admittedly higher on Trubisky than others. You know, I didn't think he was like a third round, number 3, number 2 overall pick. He was definitely not better than Deshaun Watson. Let's get that crystal clear. Coming out of the draft, he was absolutely not even close to being in the same tier as Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. However, that doesn't mean Mitchell Trubisky can't be a good player in of himself. So I think that's a good spot. I probably would have went with that route as the Steelers did, rather than paying draft capital for a quarterback who's often hurt, is very expensive, and would require me getting draft capital for him. So I tipped my cap to the Steelers, called the 49ers bluff. They said, you know what, we're interested in Jimmy Garoppolo at the right price, but if we can't come together on a price, we're just going to go with Mitchell Trubisky. And I don't mind that. I think Mitchell's better. I think Mitchell's better than Mason Rudolph 100%. So I don't fault the Steelers. But it really does feel like Chargers social media is killing it right now. See, that's what's awesome when you have a front office that's making crazy moves. You can go crazy on social media. Chargers social's killing it right now. We're just waiting. We're just waiting at this point. So we can't get too crazy. We can't get too crazy. But ultimately, we still got to figure stuff out on our own, man. That's the craziest part. That's why I think like this whole Jimmy thing is kind of, it feels like someone asked earlier, I believe, you know, they asked earlier about, damn, what did they ask? I forgot. So many squirrels going on. I apologize. It's not a great day to have ADHD because there's so much going on. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to go look right now. I am going to go look right now. The Giants are signing former Bills offensive lineman John Feliciano to a 1-year deal. So there's a move. Giants add offensive line help. Let's see. Oh, it's true. Oh, is that he's been following him for months? Okay, I'm just saying. That's the only team that I see Stephon Gilmore following. Sure is interesting. That's all we'll say. It's quite the interest. So Gilmore follows the Raiders, but apparently he's been following the Raiders for months. Glad we have someone who knows. But it is interesting that he does follow the Raiders and not the Jets and not the 49ers. What's that about? But again, Also, I think people aren't giving the Raiders enough credit. It's Josh McDaniels over there. It's also you also have a general manager who came from the Patriots. So they have a little bit of a Patriots West vibe to them. So I could totally see the Raiders shelling out. I could totally see the Raiders shelling out. I mean, yeah, he might have been following for months, but it's still a reasonable destination. They had to let go of their former first round pick and Damon Arnett because he was, toting that thing on IG, threatening people like a real scholar and a gentleman. So they need help at cornerback. It's going to be interesting. Are the 49ers going to do it? Are we going to shock the world? I don't think so. I don't know. Man, Carlton Davis got 30 million guaranteed. It's a 3-year contract. Overall total 44 million. I don't know how the 49ers would be able to give a contract like that. I know it says they're interested in getting these guys, but I just don't see where's the money coming from. We got to start a GoFundMe. Do we need to start a GoFundMe? I might do it. So someone asked, what about McGlinchey? What are they going to do with him? So I think that they're going to sign a mid-level veteran. I think, with McGlinchey, they're hopeful that he will return to form. But I think it's also one of those things that you just don't know. You just don't know with how his recovery will look. So I think there could, and again, we saw that the 49ers really needed to rely on that swing tackle. Like if we're gonna call, Tom Compton, let's call him a swing tackle for whatever it's worth. Clearly that 6th offensive lineman was needed last year. So, and that was Tom Compton, and Tom Compton was, a low tier. He was a low tier veteran. So maybe they bump up to like a mid tier veteran who has, some experience, a little bit more experience starting, someone who can hold up probably a little bit better in pass protection. I think for how good Tom Compton came in and played, and he played, I mean, phenomenally. I just want to say that quickly. Like Tom Compton, for what he did last year, coming in to play in a pinch when we needed him and to be as successful as he was, I would even take him back. But I do understand the thought process of upgrading to someone who is a little bit more stout in pass protection. Now, Tom Compton, I have no problems with Tom Compton as a run blocker. I actually think he could be a starter based on his run blocking alone. However, we understand that, at a certain point, you're going to have to drop back and pass. Even if we're the 49ers and we want to run the football 30 to 40 times a game, you're not going to be awarded that luxury every game or every series. One of these opportunities is going to show up where you're going to have to drop back and you're going to have to pass. And you're going to need more than 2 seconds. Well, that's kind of where Tom Compton, weakness kind of shows a little bit. So if they opt to kind of upgrade that a little bit, I would be okay with it. It would make sense to me. Again, something that I was hearing is David Quisenberry. The 49ers might have some interest there. Man, former Rams guard Austin Corbett signs a 3-year, $30 million deal with the Panthers. So some offensive linemen are starting to go. Some offensive linemen are starting to go, but man, I am. Oh, wow. Trubisky's deal's worth up to $27 million. Woo! Damn, he's up to 27. So he can make up to 27 million. That's a lot. That is a lot. But again, back to the kind of offensive line conversation. They have to bring. I feel like they have to bring Brunskill back at this point. I feel like they have to. Not only do you have to bring Brunskill back, but you do have to find kind of a potential security blanket at right tackle. I don't know if that's going to be a return of Tom Compton, but a guy like David Quisenberry, coming out of Tennessee, I think could be a fit. Yeah, it's 27 with incentives, but still, the fact that he can reach that, the fact that Trubisky has a potential to reach up to 27 million, that's more than Jimmy. That's more than Jimmy. So do you know what that tells you about the way the Steelers view Mitchell Trubisky and Jimmy Garoppolo? That's pretty even. I'm just saying. So again, you look at Trubisky, you look at the age. He's been healthy for the most part. I don't think that's a terrible deal for the Steelers. I don't even yeah, that's a lot. But the incentives are built to ensure that if he's successful, he's rewarded. Exactly. If he reaches incentives, it means he's playing very good, better than they would have anticipated. And I like deals that are like that. It gives you something to work towards and earn. So I like that. That makes sense. What happened with school is, they're going a little too hard in OTAs, and I think he tore his ACL. So I know school's working. I know he's been working. He's actually there's a workout video that was posted, I think today, of school working out. He's working out with one of my boys right now, and so school. Can't remember if he was completely on IR. If they released him. I think they might have released him with IR designation. I can't remember. But he's been working, and he's actually been working he's been back in the gym for a while now. So if, that could be maybe a potential depth piece. Again, they signed Colton McKivitz. Colton McKivitz is on the roster. It's going to be very interesting. Fullback Michael Burton is re-signing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, announce something with the Niners. Announce something with the Niners. Do it. Please. Please. Kayvon says we need a lockdown cornerback and safety and dominant guard. Yeah. I think, I'm very interested in the safety position. I'm very interested in the safety position. Now, I know it makes sense to do that, to go after a cornerback maybe first, but man, I don't know about you guys, but I'd almost rather just get like a dominant safety, because I think we know Kwaski's not coming back. Kwaski not coming back. Just put a dominant, like just sideline to sideline, kind of similar skill set, um, you know, as Ward, but just kind of mirrored on the opposite side, and just watch those two guys go crazy on the back end. I just feel like if the 49ers had two legitimate safeties on the back end of their defense, um, it would be crazy, especially if you can compound that with a ferocious pass rush. Like, that would be nice. I want that. I admittedly have like a throwback like version. So this is what I want. This is what I want. I want a modern day Deshaun Goldson, if that makes sense. I want a modern day Deshaun Goldson. Now, we understand Deshaun Goldson, his play style was a little bit, would be considered reckless in today's NFL. However, if you can find me a modern day Deshaun Goldson, again, a guy who had all the athletic traits, but just could destroy you, but do it within the realm, again, of the rule book and what is required. You could get me like a modern day Goldson. Whoo! All these wide receivers thinking twice about coming over the middle. Just wow, just bah, just like knock you out. Bah, man, that would be fire. That would be fire. Ed Reed type, hell, anyone will take an Ed Reed type. Anyone will take an Ed Reed type. But man, back in the day, bro, these two lit, absolutely lit. Again, Deshaun Goldson's one of my all-time favorite 49ers personally. Like he's up there. Like he's up there over probably people you get real mad at me about having him over, but it's just my personal connection to him. I really liked Deshaun Goldson. He's one of my favorite players on those early 2000 teams. And but see, I think Hufanga's different than Goldson, to be honest. I think Hufanga to me is like he's got ball hawking traits. He just doesn't have that long speed. And so I think when I'm saying like, a Goldson, but in a modern day form, is that guy has the long speed. He can play sideline to sideline. He can play everywhere, but he also has that physical element to him where he is just going to lay you out. And that's what I want. And I think with Hufanga, I think he's going to be a great player. And I think eventually I feel like he will eventually be a linebacker. Because that's just where I profile him fitting the best is at linebacker, because again, his speed becomes an advantage in the box. Whereas you start to put Hufanga single high and then it becomes a disadvantage. So I'd rather play my players, to the advantage that their skill set provides. And with Hufanga, I see him being an amazing in the box type of player. Again, around the line of scrimmage, roaming the flats, in the middle. I could see him doing a lot of work and being very, very successful there. But I want that speed demon who can rock you at the same time. That's kind of what I'm looking for. It's kind of what I'm looking for, and I don't think that Hufanga profiles to kind of what I'm looking for. But I think Hufanga is still a good player. That's not to say he's not a good player. I think he's actually a really good player. There's like that archetype that I'm on the hunt for. Um, at least in regards to building out my perfect like defense and things like that. But I think Hufang is going to be a player. He is a player. He's already a player. I think he's just going to get better. I think he's just going to get better. Got the Raiders in here. What's up, Raiders? Lewis Scene. I don't know how to say his last name. Yeah, the dude out of Georgia. Whew. Yeah, he made a lot of money though. He made a lot of money. He might be that guy that I'm thinking of too. He might be that guy that I'm thinking of. I don't know if he'll be around for the 49ers. And I'm not sure that the 49ers would draft him high. So we'll see. But yes, Detail knows. Detail knows why we like Kirby. We like Kirby because he can do all those things. He can play sideline to sideline. Brian Cook too, man. So these are my two. Kirby Joseph out of Illinois, Brian Cook, Cincinnati. These two guys are going to be starting caliber safeties. Those two guys. If you could get me Kirby, you could get me Brian Cook, I would be happy. And I think you could have them at a decent value too, which again makes that awesome. Leon O'Neal, he's another guy. A lot of hype around 49er fans, and rightfully so. He just seems like a cool person. On top of being, yeah, you hear it right here. You know how us IG accounts be. We be in the DMs. Niner Detail has spoken to Leon O'Neal and legitimately said he wants to be a 49er. So that's dope. So there are safeties in this class that are available. It's just going to be interesting. I don't think there's anyone on the open market that is worth paying for. But again, it's that what level of inexperience do you want? What level of inexperience you want? I think fans like rookies. I think veterans and guys and coaches, I don't think they like rookies as much as fans like rookies. My goodness. I don't think coaches, I don't think players like rookies as much as we like rookies because they have to teach them and they have to do all those things. They have to actually indoctrinate them into a culture and things like that. Nick Cross is another name. He looked really good at the combine. Out of Maryland, he just looks like he looks the part. He was definitely a guy. So there's what's exciting about this draft class is there's a lot. I feel really good about this class, man. Like there might not be like the great quarterbacks in this class, which is fine, but there is a lot of talent at a lot of different positions and a lot of depth. This is a good class to have a lot of picks and not necessarily need day one starters. Like I think the 49ers, could they start a rookie at safety week one? They could, but they could also start Talanoa week one. Do they need a nickel cornerback? They could, and they could draft one. They could draft a Marcus Jones, but also maybe Diamador Lenore steps up 100%. So, My goodness, dude. Webcam's going crazy. My goodness. Go away. How does that even happen? So this is the thing. Combine is great. The combine is great if you know how to use it. The combine is fantastic if you know how to use it. Perfect example. I'll tell you my combine story. I'll tell you my combine story just from this last trip, and to tell you why like the combine isn't a joke if you know what you're watching. And this is my story behind it. So I'm actually like, I think I was on live. I think I was on live on Instagram, and I'm sitting there, you know, we're at field level, watching all the offensive linemen get warmed up, getting all of them warmed up. So what am I doing? I am scouting vibe. I'm scouting body composition. Like, okay, do you look sloppy or do you look built? Like, do you look athletic? Do you look not athletic? And so that's the first part. I'm standing there. That's the first thing I'm looking at. And I get to see all these guys in person. One of the things that I'm seeing while I'm there in person during warmups is this guy walking back and forth, and he looks very angry, looks very upset, looks like he wants to punch someone in the face. And as we are continuing to move through this, I clearly identified this guy's vibe. I identified the body type and the build, and I was like, all right, let's see how he tests. Goes out, proceeds to have great testing, looks good. Movement skills, he ran a 4.92, 40-yard dash. Everything else checks out. And so I'm like, all right, this guy looks the part. Now let's see what the tape looks like. You throw on the tape, then the tape matches. Then all of a sudden you have a complete profile of what a player is. So I'm just saying, like, even on TV, because if it wasn't for TV, George Kittle would have never been a draft crush of mine. The reason why George Kittle became a draft crush of mine was because of the combine. I knew who George Kittle was going into the combine. I knew him as a blocker. When we got to the combine, you see the on-field drills. You see how well he moves. You see how well he caught the ball. Instantly became a draft crush. That's why I comped a blocking tight end to Greg Olsen, who was fresh off 3 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons. And people called me insane. There's a value to the combine. You just have to know what you're looking for. You have to know what you're watching, and you have to know how to contextualize it. So if you know those things, the combine is a great tool. Combine is a fantastic tool. It's just if you're judging people off of running in a straight line, then yes, you're going to strike out more often than not. But if you know how to use it and you know how to quantify it and put it in a context, it's a great tool. It's a fantastic tool. So you can't just be like, oh, this guy ran a sub 4.40, so he's going to be the next guy. No, that's not how it works. So I like it. I think the combine's a great tool. It's put me on to a bunch of guys. It's put me on to a bunch of guys that I wasn't really anticipating. And again, the best story of all is George Kittle. So that's just my story. GK all day. GK all day. All right. What else we want to talk about? What else do we want to talk about? Jerry who? Teddy Bridgewater's deal is a 1-year deal with $6.5 million guaranteed, $2 million at signing, and he can make an additional $3.5 million in incentives. That doesn't feel like a straight backup. That doesn't feel like that's straight backup money. That doesn't feel like backup money. What are we going to do at left guard now? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It really feels like Aaron Banks is going to be that guy. It really feels like Aaron Banks is going to be that guy. Feels like Aaron Banks is going to be that guy. Emmanuel Mosley is not a slot. He's not a slot cornerback. He's best on the outside. So I don't imagine them kicking Emmanuel Mosley inside. Talk about Mostert. I'd love to talk about Mostert. I want to bring him back. I'm banging the drums to bring Mostert back. I feel like we were cheated. Oh wow. Yeah. Hey Zeus, we're gonna talk about that. I feel like we were cheated out of our final year of Mostert. I feel like we were cheated. And I want that back. Like, and if it's a 1-year deal, that's fine. I just want that 1 year back. That was it. Like, if we got that 1 year out of Mostert, it would have hurt to see him leave, but I was ready for it. I would have anticipated it and been okay with it if we'd gotten that full year of Raheem, but we didn't. And I want it. I want that full year. I want to see what he looks like as the number one running back in this offense, especially with Trey Lance. Again, we already had the nickname. You got Eminem. So we're going to have Mitchell and Mostert. So you got the Eminem crew. So would love to see that. What's going to be kind of interesting though, since we are on the topic of running back, do you guys think there's any viability that with Anthony Lynn, who is obviously running backs coach now and is going to have a big say in the offense, it does feel like Melvin Gordon could be available? What would you think about that? Elijah Mitchell and Melvin Gordon? It's not one or the other. You need more than one running back, just to be clear. But interesting. I don't know. He's probably going to be expensive, I would imagine. But could be interesting. I'm just saying. Gas prices. Detail going crazy. Yeah, we're just waiting at this point. What's my opinions on Charvarius Ward? Texans re-signing Justin Britt to 2-year deal. and AJ Khan. All right, so we got 2 offensive line moves, both by the Texans just now. What do I think about him? Honestly, I'd be lying to you if I told you I watched enough Chiefs games to like really study the guy. I mean, I see here in 2021 he had 67 tackles, 2 of them for a loss. He had 10 pass deflections. That's nice. He had 2 interceptions in 13 games. So that's not bad. I mean, from a production standpoint, that's not bad. He's 25 years old. He's 6'1", so he's going to be a longer corner. My opinion, I would need to watch the tape to have a definitive opinion. Oh my goodness, these bots, bro. These bots going crazy. Why are they after me? Go away. Leave me. Leave me alone. But like I said, I wouldn't mind Melvin Gordon. And this is the thing. Gordon doesn't have he doesn't. He does not have breakaway speed. But he's going to be like a more physical Mitchell. He's going to be a more physical Mitchell. Maybe the 49ers then go and draft Zonovan Knight, out of NC State. You get Melvin Gordon, Elijah Mitchell, Zonovan Knight. Ooh, I'm just saying. You guys look at Zonovan Knight yet out of NC State? He's nice. You want a twitched up running back? You want a twitched up running back? Look at Zonovan Knight. So there's a world exists. There's a world exists that, yeah, Trey Sermon, it's just, Trey Sermon's got a lot of work ahead of him. So we're going to find out. Do something, John Lunch. Typical free agency feels right now. Yeah, we've been here before. Soldier says, I don't understand why we're just sitting back like everything is good on our defense and all these free agents out here come on now, let's make some moves, Niner Nation. I forget who said it. Let me double check if I still got this, but I felt like it was a great representation. Yeah, so I feel like this is a great reminder. This is from Albert Breer. He tweeted this out earlier, and again, it's a thought process, something to think about. He said, one reminder on teams that don't spend a lot on day one of free agency, you can almost always trace it to a string of really bad drafts 3.5 years prior. These teams have the room because they don't have guys of their own to pay. The problem with the 49ers is they have too many of their own guys to pay, which is a good problem to have. Again, it's an indication of success. I know it's viewed as, what are we doing? We're sitting on our hands, we're sitting on our feet, we're not doing anything. Again, last year was a win in free agency just because we signed our own guys. Like, just because we got our own guys signed. And again, the reason probably why we can't make a lot of moves right now is because we're going to have to pay Deebo Samuel $25+ million a year, because Nick Bosa needs a contract extension, because guys like Azeez Al-Shaair and Daniel Brunskill, guys that are tendered, Jauan Jennings still needs to get a deal. You know what I mean? So that's part of the problem. The part of the problem is we've allocated a lot of our resources, to the money that to the guys that we've already drafted and developed. But the problem now is we still got to pay those guys. We still got to pay the guys in-house, let alone like try to get some of these guys outside, the club. So I get it. I'm with you there. I want to see the 49ers at the very least figure out what is going on with the quarterback situation. Because I think that the 49ers could figure out what was going on with the quarterback situation, it would give this fan base the most clarity it's had in over 2 years. Again, it started to get weird when Tom Brady in 2020 was being talked about as being a potential target for the 49ers. Maybe they move off Jimmy Garoppolo right after he led him to the Super Bowl. It was unclear about who the 49ers quarterback was going to be starting as early as 2020. So I think we just want to see what's going down, what's going to happen. Can we move this guy, and can we get clarity at the position? That's literally, at the end of the day, all we freaking want. Let's see. So pretty much, this is being reported from Ian Rappaport through 49ers web zone. The update on Jimmy Garoppolo trade is that there's no update. Of course that the update on Jimmy Garoppolo is that there's no update. So that's what we've got from Ian Rappaport on the potential. I think this deal is between the Colts and the 49ers. But the update is that there's no update. God damn it. Just give us the news. I'm tired. My goodness. Just something go down, please. Please. But we'll see, man. They ever Oh. Do something. Please. Do something. We had this debate earlier, Gabe. Oh, also, too, I completely forgot. I bet someone on Instagram. $50 that Jimmy Garoppolo would be traded by OTAs. So I also have money on the line. I'm now financially invested in Jimmy Garoppolo getting traded, because I forget who it was. Someone on one of my Instagram pages was like, Jimmy's not getting traded. Jimmy's here to stay. Jimmy's not getting traded. And so I said, put your money where your mouth is. And he's like, all right, how much we bet? And I was like, all right, let's do 50. So I got 50 that Garoppolo gets moved by OTAs, which actually is starting to sound like he could be here during OTAs, which is terrifying. And he has, right, that was his bet, and mine is he just gets traded. If he gets traded, I get $50. He said he's going to pay me on stream. We'll find out. And if Jimmy Garoppolo is on the roster by OTAs, I'm paying him $50 on stream. So we got money on it now. Oh boy, the bots like us today. We must be doing something right. Because the bots are at our neck right now. Okay, so we have an update here we have an update from Jordan Schultz saying that the Jets have not made an offer for free agent cornerback Stephon Gilmore. So that's interesting. He goes on to say, however, I'm told the two-time All-Pro has a lot of interest from several teams, including the Raiders and Niners. Gilmore is still a big-time player and should get a healthy contract as well. So again, a lot of the same. It's an update. The only difference from this one opposed to the other one was that there's no offer that's been made by the Jets, right? And I think we would think that the Jets have the best shot based on how much money they have, but it's still being reported that the 49ers and Raiders aren't in it. There's nothing about them making a deal. All it's saying is the Jets haven't made an offer. So whatever that means. So hey, we'll see. It's still really not a report. Exactly. It's the same report. The only thing we know is apparently the Jets aren't have an actual offer in play. Whoop-de-doo, Basil. Gabe says, personally, I'd like to see the Niners sign Chandler Jones instead of Gilmore, draft a cornerback. I would like to see the 49ers somehow swindle Chandler Jones and DJ Reed in the same haul. Like somehow get those two. I would much rather, if you can give me Chandler Jones, you can supplement Gilmore with DJ Reed. If you give me Chandler Jones and DJ Reed as opposed to Gilmore, that's a slam dunk in my opinion. If you can get me Jones and you get me DJ Reed, I would want that night and day above just Gilmore. So this just in from Evan Massey, who had the original reports on the 49ers being interested in Stephon Gilmore. He said, count the Colts in as a team interested in signing free agent wide receiver Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry was released by the Browns earlier. Indy has a glaring need at the wide receiver position, and he would give the next starting quarterback a true number one target. Well, Colts, you need a quarterback to be able to draw in some of these guys. So announce Garoppolo to the Colts now. Do it. Gosh. Just do it. Just do it. It really does. I saw Detail talking about it earlier. He was saying like they're gonna do some like late night drops. Like this team does a lot of late night drops, and we thrive. We thrive on late night drops. I mean, trust me. You're never gonna find a live that will match the Trent Williams 2:30 a.m. live. You'll never. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that. Be able to match those vibes from the Trent Williams 2:30 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. live. I don't think that can be matched, but never say never. Never say never. If we get the Shefty tweet, for real, we had people on the East Coast in there too. It was their early morning for them. But if we get Shefty dropping 2 a.m. like breaking news, Jimmy Garoppolo traded XYZ, we're hopping on live. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if I still got the crusties in my eyes. Like we're hopping on, and we're vibing. We're vibing no matter what, because, like I said, it's something that we have been waiting for what feels like years. Feels like years. Crazy. Crazy. Ooh, here's a perspective. I haven't read all of it, but I read the first part. Jesus says, I honestly love how quiet the 49ers are being. Exclamation point. Something is brewing, even if we don't know. They rarely ever leak info, and reporters have way more info to put out about other teams, not us. Who's your source? Who is he? Name him. Just kidding. But yeah, no, you're right. I don't mind that. I don't mind that they're not signing. I'm just getting impatient with the Jimmy stuff. like, I can rationalize. I can rationalize them not spending in free agency, especially early. Again, back to the other conversation that we had from Albert Breer. The teams that are spending right now, the teams that are spending are teams that have been ass and they're desperate. I mean, look at the Jags. Like the Jags are going crazy because they're ass and they have to. They have to overspend to get guys in the building. They have to overspend to beat out other teams. They have to. The 49ers are not one of those teams. The 49ers are always going to make smart decisions, whether we like it or not. And so, as a result of making smart decisions, you don't jump at the first thing that like you get excited about. Like they're going to, I know people hate, I know you guys hate it. They're going to do their due diligence. And, you know, they're going to make the move that makes sense for them. So far, they have a track record of doing it pretty successfully. So I'm not worried about them not making moves. I'm just getting impatient with the Jimmy stuff. I just want it to like, I want the closure. That's what I personally want. I just want the closure. That's all I want. Eric says, been watching from afar for a while. I've enjoyed your show. I'm curious why isn't cornerback a huge portion of the show? We get killed by skilled wide receivers over and over again. I think about Green Bay loss, LA Rams loss. I don't know when you hopped on here. Shout out my boy Eric for popping on. This is my second live today. So far, I think we're heading on my 5th hour of being live today. So again, I don't know. I've talked a lot about the cornerback. We might have just missed. But I can give you a recap. We got time. Right? Because freaking 49ers aren't going to announce anything. Dang it. Announce someone. Just show us that you're alive. Blink twice if you're still alive, 49ers front office. Blink twice. Just let us know. Just give us a little something. Just like a smoke signal. Something. But yeah, again, so my thing with the cornerback, I'm okay with them attacking the cornerback position in free agency. I, in fact, prefer they attack the cornerback in free agency. If there's anything we've learned with them taking Mr. Ambry Thomas in the 3rd round, with Diamador in the 5th round, and as we've seen through many a draft, again, this is I've been doing this for 10 years in regards to scouting. Cornerback is so volatile, especially in the draft. Because you just don't know. Everyone on draft Twitter, every expert,
people that I respect a ton told me CJ Henderson was the next elite cornerback. And I felt like I was the only one that was like, what are you talking about? Where? When? I don't see it. Well, I'm going to victory lap CJ Henderson because that dude's already been traded from his original team and he feels like a bust. Feels like a total bust. You got guys like Justin Gilbert back in the day coming out of Oklahoma State. Look like blue chip is going to be cornerback 1. Bust. Jeff Okudah, cornerback 1, blue chipper. Bust. Like, I just feel like cornerback is such a volatile position that I don't trust attacking it in the draft. I will trust it in the sense of, we're going to develop someone. Yes. If we want to develop someone 2 years, 3 years, 100%. Hell yeah, 100%. But if we're looking for a guy to come in and play and start right away, if you get the right guy, then yeah, it's not a problem. But how often do we see them get the right guy? I just feel like Surtain was good. JC Horn looked like he's going to be good. Got hurt. We'll see. I admittedly was very hard on JC Horn, and I think for other reasons that I've come to grips with other than just him. But I was hard on JC Horn coming out. But I think he proves he can be a guy. But the point is that it's such a volatile position. I would absolutely hope if they want a cornerback to be a part of the game plan next year, that I would like them to get a veteran. And if they're getting a veteran, what does that veteran look like? The veteran that I keep talking about is DJ Reed. Again, it just feels like such a natural fit. I don't know what the money looks like, but I know there's interest. And I just feel like that is the natural fit. That's what I'm looking for. But I don't want to go to the draft again. And there's some decent cornerbacks in this draft, but it's just, you just don't know. True, Jair Alexander and Eric Stokes have been good, but on the same team, Kevin King has been a bust. Sidney Jones has been kind of a bust. So you get it every which way. Then you get guys like Carlton Davis. Where did he come from? He just was one of the lottery winners of the free agency period. He wasn't a high draft pick. So you can find Emmanuel Mosley was an undrafted free agent. So like, it's just like there's not like a science to drafting cornerbacks, I guess is the point that I'm making. So if you want a guy to contribute year 1, go get a guy that you've seen do it. I didn't even know that. JC Jackson was an undrafted free agent. I didn't even know that. So the point is if you want contributor from the cornerback position this year, go to free agency. You already went to the well with Ambry and Demo. It's rocky road. Ambry turned out to improve quite a bit, thankfully. Diamador, we don't know. We still got to find out. But that's why if you want a guy to contribute year 1 from the cornerback position, go to a veteran. Go to a guy that has reps on tape in the NFL. You can plug into play. You have an idea. You put him in. That's what I would want. I just wouldn't want them to, draft another guy. I just don't want them to draft another guy. It's really what it comes down to. But we'll see. Let's see. Luke says E-Man didn't allow a regular season touchdown. Embry got better if we brought in Chandler Jones. I bet they would be enough with Verrett playing situationally, third and long, plus a DJ Reed type. Again, you get me Chandler Jones and you get me a DJ Reed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, you know. Luke knows. You get a Chandler Jones and a DJ Reed. I think that trumps a JC Jackson. That trumps a any one of these guys. Any one of these guys. Chris says, cut Jimmy and let's spend some money. No one wants him. So this is an interesting question. Would you guys do this? Do you think it's getting to this point? Because we have heard this floated, right? We've heard it floated that, oh, maybe what's going on, they wanted to mess with the timing of Garoppolo's or the 49ers, free agency movement. Clearly, there's going to be an injury guarantee that kicks in based on not being able to pass a physical. So he's able to lock in a guaranteed amount of money. This is the crazy thing. So the thing is, the reason why I feel like they can't cut Jimmy is because if they cut Jimmy, Jimmy won. And I don't think they want that. I think it's becoming that kind of thing. Like, I think it's a situation where if they cut Jimmy, Jimmy gets guaranteed money and they don't get compensation for him. So that's a double L. I mean, it's really like a quadruple L if you just don't get anything back for Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, you go through that entire situation and you get nothing for Jimmy in return. That just feels like a big L. Even if you like, they come to grips, they're like, we need the cap space. They clear it. They cut him. They release him. He goes signs wherever he wants. It still feels like an L for the 49ers front office, especially when you look, they traded for him. They used a second round draft pick to get him. Again, if you're trying to transfer from like a football perspective to a business perspective, that is an L from a business perspective. So I don't think they do that. That's why I don't think they do that. Like, I know we're impatient, me included, and we want to just rip the Band-Aid off, and we just want clarity, and we just want to move in a direction that we can all agree on. Whether you like it or you don't like it, we just know, hey, this is the direction. But I don't see them cutting him. Because they lose on so many levels. They lose on so many levels. The basically what they proved is, Jimmy's management group is smarter than the 49ers front office. They swindled more money out of the 49ers front office while able to get their client freed up to pick up and choose wherever he wants to go, to sign whichever deal he needs to sign, which I guarantee you a huge reason with part of the trade hangup is paying Jimmy all that money. I'm sure that's part of it. And so if you're in Jimmy's camp and you're like, hey, we got the guaranteed money, we're locked in, we got the injury designation kicked in, so hey, we're getting cash no matter what. Okay, we just wait. We could just wait. Like, They want to cut us? Okay, great. Then we get to go pick wherever we want. Then we get to go. Did it happen? Oh boy, it happened. DJ Jones has signed with the Broncos, 3 years, $30 million, $20 million fully guaranteed. We got a deal, just not the one we were absolutely hoping for. But DJ Jones is out of here. There's a move. Hey, we got to move, right? We wanted to move. Not the move that we wanted, though. Not the move that we wanted. Now, let's gain our composure, and then we'll react. Let's gain our composure. I got to post, so bear with me while I post this. But screw composure. Drop how you're feeling in the chat. What's the vibes? What are you feeling like? I know DJ Jones has become a very popular 49er, especially with his play as of late. But what do you guys feel? Do you guys feel that's like just a loss that's going to eat at us? Again, that's a 6th-round pick. That's a 6th-round pick right there, baby. That's a 6th-round pick getting millions guaranteed. Oh yeah. Hey, Russ knows DJ better than anyone. It feels like DJ always saved his best games for Russell Wilson. But yeah, dude, that is nuts. DJ Reed is gone. He is no more. Wow, crazy. Not the news that we were hoping for. Tear my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation. No breathing. Don't give up. If DJ Jones is gone. Pain is all I know. Pain is all I know. All right, I got to get this out. The Broncos have signed DJ Jones to a 3-year, $30 million deal. $20 million guaranteed. $30 million deal per rap sheet. Okay, go away. The Broncos have signed DJ Jones. All right, we're going up. So much going on. Hold on. Let's get these posts going up, and then we'll regroup here in a second. All right. Pain. Cut my life into pieces. We have no more DJ Jones. Suffocation. Wake me up inside. Oh, we're gonna have to turn into an emo channel real quick. We're gonna have to turn into an emo channel real quick. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Angel says basically we aren't going after anybody right now because Jimmy isn't gone yet. That's the way I see it. But good luck, DJ. I'll miss you. That's how I see it too. It's exactly how I see it. I don't see them making any moves because what? How? How do they do that? My goodness. My Instagram posts are already in shambles. My goodness. Hey, I'll say this though. Hey, shout out DJ, man. Shout out DJ as a second round pick, dude. Like as a sixth round draft pick. Again, he was the last guy that was on the squad with George Kittle and his class. But man, so George Kittle is the only remaining player from the 2017 draft class, which as you guys know, was their first draft, that being Shanahan, that be we got depressed detail. We got each other. But yeah, that sucks. Luke says one step closer to Chandler or Gilmore. No disrespect, but he hasn't been healthy, and I would not pay 10 for him. Chandler and Gilmore over DJ Jones, but loved DJ as a human. Same. So I'll say this. I will say this. For what Lakin and DJ both got, this is how we kind of saw it. Like, this is kind of how we saw it progressing. Like, if you've been rocking with the channel and you've been with us as we've been talking about like what we think is going to happen, what I've said multiple times, I think DJ Jones and Laken Tomlinson are going to get deals that the 49ers cannot match. It's been the constant. Oh, we got Twitch checking in. Let's go. Holding it down. But that's been the constant, is that if you've been rocking with the channel, yes, it hurts, but we've kind of been bracing for this because I think some of us could understand that the 49ers were not going to be able to match these deals. Again, $20 million guaranteed for DJ Jones, a 6th-round draft pick. That's huge. That is huge. But that's probably a compensatory pick. That's probably going to be like a 3rd-rounder next year. You know, Laken Tomlinson, we knew we probably couldn't afford him. He goes to the Jets. It's going to be like a 3rd-round pick next year. So, although it sucks, in 2023, the 49ers are going to be stacked with compensatory picks. I know it hurts now. But just wait till that 2023 draft because we're going to have all these compensatory picks. My goodness. And we play the Broncos. So we're going to play DJ Jones. We're going to see DJ Jones this year. So we're going to see DJ Jones, man. We will. 2017 equals major L class minus Kittle. Yeah, you're probably right. Kittle's the only thing that saved that draft class. Now that DJ's gone, clearly Kittle was the only thing. Sad dough squad. Oh, man. So, again, you're just hopping in. DJ Jones signs a 3-year, $30 million contract with $20 million guaranteed. Crazy. It's crazy. Crazy. Maybe, hopefully, this is a good sign that Jauan Kinlaw is headed in the right direction. God, I hope, man. DJ Jones is gone, but my God, I hope this is a sign or something that like they have some faith in Jauan Kinlaw returning. God, I hope it. I hope. 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 Do 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 do. My goodness, I haven't had to tweet it. I haven't had to tweet it. Come on, Jauan, please come through. Come through, Jauan. We need Jauan Kinlaw so bad. Again, if Jauan Kinlaw can stay healthy and produce, the DJ Jones thing isn't as big of a deal. The reason why it feels like such a huge deal because Jauan Kinlaw hasn't been that. We need Jauan more than ever. My goodness. We need him more than ever. But this, so we get Chandler Jones, everything goes back to being okay. But my goodness. Eric says, Brad, here's a conspiracy theory for you. 49ers trade Garoppolo to the Commanders for Curtis Samuel and 2 second-round picks. I mean, maybe before they traded for, Carson Wentz, but they got Carson Wentz. So my thoughts are that probably not going to happen. But, I think the Commanders wanted Jimmy, but I don't think Jimmy wanted to go to the Commanders. So, I would say maybe before they got Carson Wentz, but they got Carson Wentz now. So, and they took all his money. They took on that entire contract. I think it's like $27 million. So not only did they give up draft capital for Carson, they also took on his contract. So that ship has sailed. Oh man, we're spiraling. We're spiraling. Give us some news. We did keep Mo Hurst, which I am very high on. I'm happy for Mo Hurst. I think Mo Hurst. So you guys probably don't want to hear this right now. And I understand. And I won't hold it against you if you get upset at me. But I really think a healthy Mo Hurst could provide the same, or if not comparable, impact as DJ Jones. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I'm just saying. Don't kill me. I'm just saying. I'm pretty high on Mo Hurst. And he was just hurt all last year. If he can stay healthy, he get on the field. Thank you. There we go. I think Mo Hurst is very similar to DJ Jones in regards to play style, body style, how they go about their business. They're very similar. Again, you guys weren't at camp. You weren't at camp, so you won't understand. I was at camp. That dude, Mo Hurst, was a wrecking ball before he got hurt. So I'm just saying, just remember me. You might not like it now. And I fully accept that. I fully accept that. Just remember me when training camp comes around. Just remember I said that. What other edge rushers beside Chandler Jones do you hope the 49ers try to sign and help Bosa? I think that's a great question. That is a great question. Let's pull up some names. I'm going to make sure I got as many in front of me as I can. There's still some solid feels like there's still some solid players out there on the market. But we're looking for edge defenders. And we are looking for available. So Chandler Jones is PFF's 5th ranked available free agent. Jadeveon Clowney still exists. I don't know if Jadeveon feels like there's just a lot of hype that doesn't match the price. Randy Gregory potentially could be had for cheap. Zadarius Smith. Emmanuel Ogbah got paid. I believe Melvin Ingram got paid, if I'm not mistaken. Hassan got paid. Harold Landry got paid. Justin Houston's still out there. Jerry Hughes, but he's old. Derek Barnett, he's out there. 25 years old. But he's been a bit of a bust since he's came into the league. Jason Pierre-Paul, maybe. Is Uchenna Nwusu available? Or did he get signed? If Nwusu is available, I like him. I'd take a shot on that. He's more of a outside linebacker, but I'd use him in a pass rushing role. Arden Key's still out there. Arden Key, Dante Fowler, Lorenzo Carter, Takaris McKinley. I think he was even on our team for a little bit. Nwusu was my draft. Is a draft crush of mine as well. Let's see here. So DJ Jones apparently was number 1 in run stop win rate according to ESPN. Eric Armstead was ranked number 2. That was from what the heck? Tabor Pepper tweeted out. Tabor Pepper tweeted out, all the people in my row of lockers are leaving. Lakin and now DJ. He said, good luck, man. Gonna miss you. But then he posted another picture and he said, don't look to your left because Tabor Pepper's locker mate is Nick Bosa. Don't joke about that. Don't joke about that today. Don't you do that today. Wow. No DJ Jones. No Tomlinson. Come on, Javon. Come on, Javon. We need Javon, baby. Man, lockup key. But I will say this. If you give me Chandler Jones and I would have to sacrifice Key, I love Key. That would be a tough one. Man. Honestly, dude, I'm right there with you. It feels like anything could happen anytime soon, but it also just feels like they can't do anything without Jimmy gone because Jimmy is like he's tying up so much money that like what do you do? What do you do? And we saw that run happening too. We saw the run on D tackles going, and we're like, oh, remember about 20 minutes ago? We saw a couple of the Oh yeah, this is the one. This hurts us a lot. This hurts us a lot right now. This contract honestly has just been so hard on the 49ers. This situation, it sucks because D Ford was the guy that we had literally hoped for in 2019, where that money that we paid him, if we could get that continued production, we'd pay him that over and over and over and over again. The problem is we only got 2019 and then that was it. We only got 2019 and that was it. And this contract it's been demoralizing. It really has been. It really has been. It sucks. It clearly sucks for clearly sucks for D Ford, but I mean, golly, like we're so stuck. I'm gonna pull up. Let's see what I'm gonna pull up. Spotrac. Because I mean, the money right now is hurting. We are hurting. Oh, they already got the deals updated on Spotrac. Lakin's in there, DJ's in there. So we still have the 49ers still have 23 free agents. The 49ers, let me say it again. They still have 23 free agents. I'm going to go ahead and say, they got Jason Verrett, Raheem Mostert, K'Wan Williams, Jeff Wilson, Ross Dwelly, Josh Norman, Marcel Harris, Mohamed Sanu, Kwaski Tart, Tavon Wilson, Tom Compton, Dante Johnson, Arden Key, Jordan Willis, Trent Sherfield, Trenton Cannon, Daniel Brunskill, Contavious Street, Jauan Jennings, Richie James, Aziz Al-Shair. All those players have not signed, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Jauan Jennings, it was reported last week he had signed. He has not signed. Jauan Jennings is not signed. The 49ers currently sit. Let me pull up the cap according to Spotrac. The 49ers currently sit negative $8,914,000 over the cap. So they're in the red by nearly $9 million. We can't even sign our tendered players. We can't sign our RFAs. So this is where I think we're starting to get the gamesmanship again. Jimmy Garoppolo's agent only cares about Jimmy Garoppolo. He does not care about the 49ers. Donnie care less about the 49ers. I really believe, based on how Jimmy was treated, Donnie, Jimmy Garoppolo's representation, could care less about making things easy for the 49ers. In fact, it feels like they're making it harder. Does it not? Jimmy could have got surgery right after the season. Would have been a month along. Teams would feel much more confident trading for a guy that is a month into recovery as opposed to 3 or 4 days into recovery. He knows, they know
that all this money is tied up in Jimmy. And without Jimmy moving, they can't make other moves. That's what it feels like. I don't know. I don't know for a fact, but that's what it feels like. It feels like Jimmy and his representation understand that the 49ers cannot do anything unless Jimmy is moved in some capacity. Released, traded. So, as we are seeing it play out, that's what it feels like. Do I need to do it? I mean, I don't know if I need to do it because it kind of feels like what's happening. But hey. It feels like maybe the way in which the 49ers went about finding their new quarterback last year backfired a little bit, maybe a little bit. And, it resulted on them landing Trey Lance ultimately in the draft. However, it feels like that probably didn't sit well with Jimmy. I mean, if you think about it, think of the narratives that have been created from Jimmy, which translate into finding your next job and your next contract. Maybe his representation didn't like that too much. Maybe Jimmy's representation didn't appreciate, the offseason leading up to this. Maybe they didn't appreciate Kyle Shanahan saying he was looking for a starting quarterback 7 times at the podium ahead of the draft. Maybe they didn't appreciate that. Feels like we're at war. Feels like we're at war. God damn, bro. I mean, I hate to bring out the conspiracies, but it just feels like this is Jimmy. This feels like this is Jimmy, and his team being like, yeah, how does it feel to be on the opposite side? How does it feel to have your whole fan base chirping down your neck? I mean, let's say that's the plan. Let's just say that is. It's going perfectly as executed. I mean, look at the fan base. The fan base knows. The fan base knows the Jimmy experiment's over. So now the fan base is looking at John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, Parag Marathe, Jed York. What are we doing? And imagine if you're Jimmy's representation, who's had that on you for the better part of 2 years. They're probably taking shots. They're probably smoking victory cigars. They're like, hell yeah, that's what you get. We saw how you did Jimmy last year. That's what you get. Man. Just saying, that's what it feels like where we're at. Feels like where we're at, man. Feels like, hey, we questioned it. We questioned it all last year, all offseason. You really want to keep Jimmy? You really want to keep Jimmy? Now, thankfully, we almost went to the Super Bowl. But we saw quickly that they almost did it. Oh, boy. But that's what it feels like. It feels like we're tied up. It feels like we're tied up with Jimmy. It feels like we're tied up in that money. Again, we don't have the available space to sign Jauan Jennings. We don't have the available space. That's what I don't understand about the cornerback news.
How are we going after these guys? Why isn't Jauan signed? Why isn't Jauan signed? It's just, you know what I mean? It's just like it's interesting. It's interesting. Again, this is the portion where this isn't football. This is business. Oh, this is business. This is lawyers. This is contracts. This is the fine language. Now, I know we're talking about it from a football lens. This isn't football. This is business. And guess what? If you got done bad in business and you can gain leverage back, petty boys, baby. Petty boys. Shout out Kevin. What's good, Kevin? Appreciate that. Jimmy is smoking that Lynch pack. 100%. 100%. Hey, the whole crew, the whole Garoppolo crew, they're smoking that Niner pack right now. Screw Lynch pack. They're scrolling the Niner pack right now. You know, bro, all of you know, whether you talk crap about Jimmy Garoppolo or not, you know what this fan base did to Jimmy. You know what this fan base did to his family. You know how stressed out you son of a guns made Jimmy Garoppolo and his family and his brothers and his mom and his dad and all their cousins. And the amount of crap this fan base talked about Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, they're smoking that Niner pack right now. They rolled up the big Dutchie. They're like, they pulled out the backwoods. They're like, screw this. We're going straight to the woods. Twist one up. Make sure you put that 49er loud in there and you spark up. Oh, bro, we're getting smoked right now. We are getting smoked by Jimmy Garoppolo and his representation. That's what's going down. Like, if we want to keep it 100, we want to keep it like a buck for real, we're getting smoked. We're getting smoked by Jimmy and his crew. 100%. 100%. They are sitting back, doing Subway commercials, laughing. Hey, in a sense, in a certain sense, I don't blame them. Oh, I hate it here. Why can't we have nice things? I just want a championship. I feel like if we had the 6th ring by now, I would not care. I feel like if we won the Super Bowl in 2019, and I'm sitting here saying 6-time Super Bowl champions, San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo's holding our feet to the coals. I don't care. We got a 6th ring. Jimmy got us a ship. He wants to delay us, in free agency, so be it. Whatever. We got our 6th ring. It would be a different tune if we had that 6th ring. Damn it. Damn it, Jimmy. I don't fault you, but damn it. Damn it. Kevin says, yeah, I took a lot of friendly fire the other night as a prospect of losing Jimmy G and Kittle for two first rounders. Also, Slave Ukraine. I'm not good at pronunciation of other languages, but I imagine thoughts to Ukraine. Yes. No war. No war. Just arguing about Jimmy G, please. No war, just arguing about Jimmy G, please. No, Kevin, you're good here though. Kevin's good here. I'm glad he stuck around too. The Chirac Savage. God, I suck at pronunciation. Just so you know, me and words aren't friends. But smoking on a Niner pack. Someone's smoking on a Niner pack, and it ain't me. It definitely ain't me. My goodness. Oh my gosh, don't. This is like going to open up a whole nother can of worms, bro. Might as well. Chirac. Chirac. Chirac? Chirac means Chicago. Chirac. Oh, I've heard of the Chi. I've never heard of Chirac, but hey. I'm a boomer, so. He said, Brad, this is helping. We're going to do it anyways. We're going to do it anyways because we're upset. Oh, I gotcha. Makes sense. Thank you. Thank you for pulling it together. Makes sense now. Got it. Ding dong. I get it. Let's see. Amateur. I have some fun with this one. Imagine if Shanny did his homework on quarterbacks in 2017. If he would have, we would never trade for Jimmy. I swear to you, like again, when I talk about my draft crushes, Deshaun Watson was a draft crush. Like I don't have too many quarterbacks that like I crush over. Justin Fields is one of them. Deshaun was the other. And I talk about it all the time because I call myself like a closet Clemson fan because DeAndre Hopkins was one of my all-time favorite prospects to scout. So if you guys, I know some of you experienced the CeeDee Lamb hive, so you experience that electricity of what it's like when I like fall onto a wide receiver that isn't being talked about as the best guy, but is the best guy. And, you know, I get real hyped about it. So imagine the hype I had with CeeDee Lamb with the DeAndre Hopkins. So DeAndre Hopkins, again, I'm that guy that was like, oh yeah, see Sammy Watkins over there. See Sammy Watkins, the guy that every single draft, oh, he's the guy. He's the number one wide receiver. Hell no, it's freaking Hopkins. You look at Sammy. Look at Sammy now. Another feather in the cap. But because of that, I watched every game of Deshaun Watson. And I watched Clemson go from not Clemson to becoming the Clemson we know now because of Deshaun. And I experienced that. And like the intangibles that Deshaun Watson brought to the field, so much more than just a football player. He had the intangible leadership quality that you're looking for in guys. And if it was up to me, like I'm not trading back. I'm not going from 2 to 3. I'm not doing a 2-3 swap with Chicago. I am drafting Deshaun Watson in 2017 with the number 2 overall pick, and I'm not thinking twice about it. This was part of the reason why I had such a hard time when people wanted to trade Nick Bosa for Deshaun Watson. They wanted to trade Kittle for Deshaun Watson. I had such a hard time with it from a rationalizing standpoint because I'm like, I would have drafted Deshaun at cost and he would be on the team and I wouldn't have to top off my in order to get him on the team when I missed already. So my big argument with the Deshaun Watson thing is, if I'm GM, Deshaun Watson is on my team. Deshaun Watson was drafted, and we're not having to trade for Deshaun Watson. That's why I hate the Deshaun Watson trade conversation talk, because it was a huge miscalculation by the 49ers front office because they like Kirk Cousins. So they opted to pass on 2 generational quarterbacks as a result for a mid quarterback. And that's why I hate the conversation, because I'm like, listen, if they did the job the right way, Deshaun Watson is the quarterback already, and you're not having to trade for a guy that you should have taken. And on top of that, you're giving up another huge asset to get the guy you should have taken. I hate that. I hate that. Like, I just can't stand that. Like, he was there. You could have had him. Okay, you missed. Move on. Do not trade more capital, more assets based on a decision you've already made a mistake on. Don't double down. Don't double down on your mistake. If you want Deshaun, draft him the first time, damn it. Sorry. Clearly, I have a lot of feelings about this topic. I've got lots and lots and lots of feelings about this topic because Deshaun Watson is a demigod, and the 49ers said, we want CJ Beathard. God damn it. I love you, Kyle, but damn it. These sons of guns traded up into the 3rd round for CJ Beathard. What? So I'm sorry if I get a little excited about rehashing past draft blunders, okay? I have draft PTSD from this team. This team has given me so much draft PTSD. You can see how quickly it sets me off. Like, I love the draft, man. I love the draft. But this team, they are mid at drafting. They are freaking mid. I love them with all my heart. I love them to the end of the world and back, but please stop being mid at drafting. They've gotten better. But my goodness. Going from Trent Baalke to Solomon Thomas. Oh. Someone save me. Save me from this misery. Please. God. I'm saying, bro, you want to get me spicy? Rehash some old draft stuff. You want to get me spicy? Talk about Trent Baalke passing on Keenan Allen 3 times. Oh my gosh. No, don't get me started. And see, this is the next one. Because if Kinlaw busts, which I don't think he will, but again, the injury concerns, right? They knew he had a knee injury. That's part of it. They knew he had a knee injury. They knew he had like knee concerns, from my understanding. They knew that. Okay. I get it. I'm a trenched guy. I get it. I get the logic. And again, it's just been unfortunate because he's been hurt. We haven't been able to see it. But clearly, Brandon, it's taken some time to get up to speed. CeeDee Lamb didn't take no time to get up to speed. I'm just saying. Whew. Get me excited. Baby. Ooh, that's a good one. Who's my comp for Khalil Shakur, bro? Khalil, jeez. So Khalil, He's great at contested catch. He has routes. He has short to intermediate, really good route running ability. Who would I compare him to? Jeez, that is a good one. I don't know. I'm trying to think. He's really good. Like, I think he's going to be a player. I think he's going to be a player. I need like a list of wide receivers in front of me. It would really. So, like, let's see. I don't know. That's a good question. That's funny because Jarvis Landry popped into my head, but same thing. It's like he's a little faster. He's a little he's more twitched up than Jarvis. But that's funny because that's what I was thinking too. He's more twitched up than Jarvis. It's not a straight comp. So that's one of the things with Ayuk. I couldn't find a straight comp for Ayuk. Sometimes comps come to me like that. But with other players, what I've realized, if a comp doesn't come to me, it's typically not typically, but sometimes it's because they're kind of unique in that sense. But man, that's a good one because he's a dog, man. He's a dog. He's a dog. He has that ability to do work over the middle. He's going to go up and he's going to fight for the football, but he's got some routes and some twitch. It's trying to find that combination of someone who has the twitch. Oh, what's this? With who? With who? Justin Reed is signing with someone, but they won't tell us who they signed with. With who? Who? Okay, Adam Schefter is reporting that Justin Reed has signed a 3-year, $31.5 million deal that includes $20 million guaranteed, but we don't have a team. He didn't report a team with it. Oh, the Chiefs. Oh, screw the Chiefs. The Chiefs signed Justin Reed. I liked him in a world that existed where the 49ers had money. That would have been a target. That would have been a target for sure. Oh, shout out Focus. Focus got the Debo repost. Let's go. Oh, shout out Raheem. Raheem got a post up there. Good looking Raheem. George Kittle said, congrats, DJ Jones. Much deserved. 2017 till now. Appreciate you. So Chiefs just stay stacking. Chiefs just stay stacking. Man. Son of a gun. This is Jimmy's fault. Golly. Are we just going to blame Jimmy for everything from now on? I think we just blame Garoppolo from now on. This is... Oh, my God. Oh, boy. All right. Yes, it's Jimmy. It's always Jimmy. Oh, God. Well, hey. There goes. So that's one of the top chips for for safeties. So now Tyrann Mathieu is available. Where does he go? I imagine he's going to get the bag. So it's going to be crazy. Oh, boy. This is now, see, it's about perspective, right? It's about perspective. It's about perspective. At least Seattle is having a way worse day than we are. At least that exists. We're having a much better day than Seattle. Much better. Much, much better. Seattle has no quarterback. They have no future. They're in shambles. Jason says, yeah, I mean, we're only missing out on opportunities. What's the big deal? Yeah, what's the big deal? Well, whatever. What's the big deal? Oh, we're just missing out on everyone. What's the big deal? I'm terrified of Drew Lock. I'm terrified. Oh, due diligence season. Put it on a shirt. Put it on a shirt. Kevin says, you were a D guy in 2010 and 2011. I thought you would be good as a player. I screen college football as a scout now. I foresee Lance as a Hall of Famer. I'm talking eidetic views. Or do I have the wrong Graham? I think you might have the wrong Graham. I played offense. But, yeah. Appreciate the super chat. Hey, this is where I thrive, man. Bring me in. Let me pick all the undrafted free agents. I'll find some good ones. Let me work. Let me see what happens. Yeah. So this is a good question from Brunil. Like, why aren't we at least restructuring contracts? I mean, that's a great great question. It is a great, great, great question. I wonder. Again, my only thing is if it plays back into leverage somehow. Like if it somehow is a leverage thing, like if they clear the space and they make the moves, I don't have a good answer for you, man. I don't have a good answer for you. I'm trying to look at it from a sense of like, how could this be like from a overview kind of optics situation? And I'm not necessarily seeing the correlation of why you would hold on doing so. Maybe it's because there's not a. Oh, maybe it's this. Maybe it's this. Maybe because the official league year doesn't start till Wednesday. Maybe it doesn't start till Wednesday. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe because it's not official, they don't have to be official. So maybe they're waiting until the 16th to announce that stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I had a good answer. I don't know. Because I would imagine that's going to occur, especially with the cap being what it is, for sure. I appreciate you, Jesus, for hopping in, my boy. Always holding it down for the mod squad. Yeah, this is it. It was the daylight savings. I agree. We're going there. We're blaming them. 100%. We're blaming the whatever daylight savings time. My goodness. So let's see. You said, and also, did the Chiefs just sign Reed? Aren't they over the cap? Let's see. Let me find out. They are the Kansas City Chiefs. Update. Oh, no, I want salary cap. Yes. Great call. So, again, this is why I refuse to pretend to understand the cap, because to Brunel's point, the Chiefs are -6+ million over the cap. So they don't have money, but they just paid someone 30 million guaranteed. So again, this is why 31 million, 20 million guaranteed. So a team that has -6 million in cap space just signed someone to a big deal. I can't make it make sense for you, but hey, it is what it is. Interesting. Says no deals are official today, so cap doesn't matter, but it will matter when they actually sign. So that's part of it. Yeah, it might not matter today. It matters in 2 days, and you're not going to announce a signing if you can't do it. So, I mean, you might be right about it today, but hey, Wednesday's coming up, and they aren't going to be like, well, we signed you on Monday when we had no money. Now that it's official, we're not signing you. That's not how it works. bro. And how the hell, dude? Kansas City got a $500 million quarterback? How? How does this work? Can we hire the Chiefs person? Like, I might. Like, how? How did they figure this out? Patrick Mahomes has a $92 million cap hit. How? How? How do you do this? How? Call the yes. You're being audited. So, we'll see, man. We'll see. Oh. We'll see how it works out. Oh, God. So, yeah. So I've been on for like 5.5 hours today. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a fun 5.5 hours because we've just been watching. We've just been watching deals. We've just been watching deals. I feel like the second two, like if I were to get off, something's gonna happen. I feel it in my bones. I'm like, I can't. Exactly. I can't do it. It's gonna happen. Please. Soon. Just hold it together. It's a marathon. It's definitely not a sprint, for sure. It's definitely not a sprint. But we're like walking at this point for sure. We're walking at this point. I'm having fun though. I'm not gonna lie. It would be fun if we like could Jauan Jennings. Woo, Jauan Jennings. Instead of me just getting upset at the 49ers didn't draft Deshaun Watson in 2017. Like, I'd much rather get excited about like, oh, Jauan Jennings, we signed him to his tender. Woo, 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 woo. Well, can't get the tender. Can't get the chicken tenders. But yes. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I'm freaking out, man. Oh, we need to do like midstream stretching. We need to like do cardio midstream. Everyone stretch midstream. Oh, everyone get their food. Bro, I could legit pull an all day stream. Like if it ever came down to it and like we were just waiting, oh, we could do it. We could do it. Make sure we got food coming in. We'll bring in guests. Oh, dude, we could do a 24-hour stream, bro. It could happen. It could happen, but we would need something. Detail live. All right. All right. DJ Jones barbecue chicken. Put some of that barbecue sauce on there, bro. Yes. Yes, gingers eat food. Surprising, I know. Some people think that we live off the sun. But no, we eat food and we drink water. And we actually live normal lives just like you guys. We do, I promise.
I promise. There might be some other crazy things that us gingers do that you guys might not be known about, but for the most part, we're pretty normal. But yeah, I mean, would you? I mean, think about it. You get Honey Badger, you pair him with Jimmy Ward. Is that something that you would like? Could they afford? Again, so hypothetical at this point because we don't even know. We don't even know. We don't even know. We're not even signing all our players. That's what makes me feel like Aziz. That's what makes me feel like Aziz is going to get signed. It makes me what feels like why Brunskill could get signed. It just feels like we are stuck waiting. We are just stuck waiting. And so what time is it? It's 8, 9, 10, 11 on the East Coast. So it's 11 on the East Coast. I don't know. I don't know how many more deals are going to get announced. Again, they can happen at any time. It can happen on any time. But not sure. I'm going to hold my breath for that. Let's go through this. We'll wrap it up. Let's see. Let's go through some of the available free agents for cornerback. Gosh, Eric, you don't provide anything to the table. All right. So these are. Oh, I don't want edge. So these are some of the available free agents again at cornerback. So at the top of the list, at the tippy top, Stephon Gilmore, 31 years old. So again, keep that in mind. Next year, he'll be 32. The following year, he'll be 33. So if you're giving him a 2-year deal, you are praying for dear life that he doesn't completely fall off in those couple years. So Stephon Gilmore is available. Casey Hayward Jr. is available. 32 and a half, still older guy, but dude played 1,100 snaps last year and was the 12th highest graded cornerback according to PFF at the age of 32. So could he potentially be available? Maybe. Darius Williams, I'm not sure if I've seen anything about him being signed. He's with the Rams last year. He's the 64th ranked cornerback last year. Steven Nelson is available, I believe. Charvarius Ward, I believe. DJ Reed, I would love. DJ Reed was the 8th best cornerback last year, according to Pro Football Focus. And he would have played last year, most of last year at 24. So we'd still get him as a 25-year-old this year. Again, I'm big. I'm on the DJ Reed hype train. Doubt that happens. Bryce Callahan, Dante Jackson, Robert Alford. I'm not sure if he's signed. Maybe not. We go Patrick Peterson. Again, Patrick Peterson he's only 32. Patrick Peterson used to be one of the best cornerbacks in the league, but we've seen how quickly he's fallen off. So again, it's
It's one of the tales of paying older cornerbacks. Like you don't know when that time's going to come when they just fall off. Rasul Douglas, I think, is someone that I'd be interested in as a 26-year-old, 26 and a half. He's ranked at 105th on PFF's board. So maybe Rasul Douglas could come in. Wouldn't be a guy I would be opposed to. Joe Hayden feels like, same. I don't know if he's reached her favorite person's level, Josh Norman's level, but hey, he's out there. Of course, K'Waun Williams. Akello. Should we bring back Akello? Should we bring in Akello? Levi Wallace. I think Sidney Jones actually re-signed recently. Chris Harris Jr., Jason Verrett, of course. Kyle Fuller, Mike Hughes. Mike Hughes is only 25 years old and actually had a pretty decent year in 2021. I don't think it was anything crazy. But again, age. Desmond King, age 27. He could be a guy potentially. Do not want Eli Apple. Xavier Rhodes. So, you got AJ Boye out there. There's a decent amount. There's a decent amount of mid to low tier. There's a decent amount of mid to low tier. Now, there's not a ton of great options. Again, I'm still want DJ Reed. You can get me DJ Reed. I consider that as a win. Maybe others don't. But if you got me DJ Reed, I would feel probably just as good if you got me Gilmore. That's how I would feel. I would feel just as good. You get me DJ Reed, I will feel just as good if you got me Stephon Gilmore. I'm an ageist. He's young. It's a good story. We could hype it to hell and back. It's great for content. And I think it would be good for the team. I'm about to go home and do a fantasy draft on Madden. I love it. I love it. Dustin the Gale says, is not trading Jimmy yet the reason why we could be losing on free agent due to cap space? Potentially. I think potentially that could be the situation. I think with the dynamic at hand, yeah, I definitely think that could be a situation. And I think it could be an intentional situation as well, not just like an accident. Like, it's starting to feel as the literal hours pass that it feels intentionally part of the situation. Again, this isn't just me with the weird hat on. Joe Staley said this on CanBR about the timing of the surgery and why the timing is impactful and why the timing would matter. So yeah, I think the Jimmy situation that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. I don't have a definitive answer. But that's absolutely what it feels like. Feels like they're not doing anything because of that. Why is nobody talking about Casey Hayward for the Niners? I would disagree with you because Jordan Elliott has been talking about Casey Hayward to the 49ers since the combine. So I'm just saying. Tour de France. Yes. I think Casey Hayward actually is a very viable option. I think more so than a lot of people want to give him credit for. I would put Casey Hayward on a tier below DJ Reed, but still, I wouldn't mind it if they went for Casey Hayward. I think Casey, I didn't watch a ton of Raiders last year, so I'll take some people's word for it that he had a good year. I can't sit here and say, you know what? I watched a lot of Raiders football last year, and Casey Hayward looked real good. I can't say that. But, based on what we're hearing, at least from people who I trust, they say he had a good year. So if that's what it takes, I think that's what we could see. I think we could see, this real mid-tier type of veteran cornerback potentially be added. I want DJ Reed. Stephon Gilmore would be fine too. That would be, I think, a win for the fan base. Because again, for a lot of people who are kind of upset about the lack of movement, if you were able to get a Stephon Gilmore, kind of put a lot of that conversation to rest, because they went out and they got someone, and that's a big name. So I think people would feel a little bit more at ease about the quietness of the free agency period if they landed someone like that. But we'll see. We will see how that all plays out. We're just gonna have to wait. So I think this is what I'm gonna do. It's past 3 hours. I could keep going, but I'm not. I'm gonna eat some food put some food into my belly, and I'm gonna wait. And like we've talked about, anything happens, I'm gonna hop back on live. That's the type of vibe we at right now. It's free agency week. It's one of the littest weeks when we get something to go our way. So if we get a midnight deal, if we get a midnight trade, if someone gets signed, I'm gonna go live. As long as it's at least, depending on time, has to be like if we sign Marcel Harris, probably not going live. Probably not. But hey, we sign a Jauan Jennings. Oh, we bring Brunskill back. Oh yeah, I'm on for show. But we signed Marcel. Might not be doing it live, but we sign Arden Key. We trade Jimmy. We sign someone. We sign a DJ Reed. We sign Gilmore. We're going live. Doesn't matter what time it is. Because if I'm up, we're going to hop on live and we're going to vibe. So just if that happens, if you're like, you wake up, you get a notification, you're like, we signed Stephon Gilmore, like I might be live. So I'm just saying, come vibe. We'll be half asleep, but it will be great. It will be great. If you're sleeping, that's why you got to put post notifications on. That's why you got to go smash that bell button. Make sure the volume's up so it reminds you, like, oh, Brad's going live. Ding, 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 ding. So, anyways, I'm gonna be on alert. If it goes down, it goes down, and we're hopping on. Again, I had like 2,000 subscribers. I had like 2,000 subs last year. And we went live at 2:30 in the morning. We had like 400 people in the live for 2 hours in the middle of the night when Trent signed. So we're going no matter what. If Josh Norman gets signed, we are absolutely going live because that's a big deal. Shout out if you made it through the whole live. I appreciate you guys. Over almost 3.5 hours. Make sure you grab your cookie on the way out. We also have a nice medal for you for sitting through the entire thing. So we appreciate that. Let's see. Any new updates? We have no new updates. As we've mentioned, it is 8, 9, 10, 11 on the East Coast. So I imagine Shefty's a little tired. I would imagine Ian Rappaport's a little tired. Those thumbs getting workout today. Those guys need sleep too. So I imagine those guys are going to be putting the phones down here pretty soon. Now, any deals that come out, it's just going to be, we'll see. We'll see. But if one pops on and it's a big one, we're going to vibe to the moon. Hopefully. We'll see. But on the way out, again, I appreciate you guys for vibing with me. We're going to keep coming with more lives all throughout this week. And especially if and when that Jimmy G trade goes up, we're going crazy. We are going crazy. So just a FYI. Let's see. Yeah. So I'll see you guys either tomorrow or if some news breaks. We'll see. But I appreciate every one of you, as always. As always, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Hit that like button. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. Hit that bell button so if I do go live, you are aware. I appreciate you all. Hopefully we get some news tomorrow. Maybe this is it. Maybe it's Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday's the day. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. Appreciate the squad. Remember, get your cookies on the way out. Get your cookies. You made it the whole way. Get your cookies. Appreciate you all. Peace.